What's going on, everyone? It's Adam here from No Shelf Space, and today we're looking at The Witcher Old World. Now, this is the retail version of the game, so if you're going to be picking this up at your local store, this is probably what you're going to get. This is not the deluxe version, it's just the standard retail version. And I didn't see a lot of people unboxing this one online, so I figured, hey, people are going to want to know. But let's dive in, see what's inside. All right, of course, there is your rule book, and this is a big one. Looks like we got 35 pages on that. Now, that includes the solo rules, but this is a detailed book, and there is a full player turn page right here for a two-player game, which I really like, but there's a lot of information. This is not a light game. There's a lot going on, despite there not being a whole ton of components, but there you go. There's the book. There's all the components. You want to pause and take a peek. But we're going to be showing it all off in about 2 seconds anyway, so I don't know why you wouldn't. All right, let's move this aside. Next up, we have tokens. Yes, so here's the tokens. We've got money. We've got seals. We've got names down here. And different locations over here. If you're familiar with the Witcher 3 game, maybe the show, I haven't seen it enough to know, but there's things like Novigrad right there, and I'm sure there's more places you might recognize all over these little tokens. But right here we have the monster tokens. Now these, if you have the deluxe version of the game, these are all actual minis that you can place on the box. Now, on the board, sorry. It'll bring that game to life a lot more, but I'm actually okay with just having these monster tokens as opposed to minis. I think this will be just fine for what I want to do. Next, we have the board. Now, this is a big board by board game standards. There's a lot going on. Now, what I really like about the board, and we're going to get it open here in just one hot second. In fact, let's remove some of this stuff so that we are just looking at the board. I can pull out all these other goodies later. All right, there we go. This is a big board, but what I really love about the board is that everything has a place. So you're not placing, you're placing a few things off the board down here, but in most cases, everything is going to sit right here on the board, and I love that for organizational purposes, but beautifully detailed. It's not very vibrant, but if you know anything about The Witcher, that's probably not shocking and not surprising at all. But it's beautifully detailed. The map is great, and there are expansions you can get that add to the board. We just don't have any of those in this retail version. I'm going to leave this out on the table. All right, we have cards. So many different cards, and there's all kinds of things. Here you go. These are the one of the monsters in that deck. You're gonna have like player cards. There's another monster right there, and this game's all about slaying monsters, so as you can expect, there's going to be a lot of cards in the game. We're not going to go through them all, but just know there's tons of cards there. Cards for your players, cards for the monsters, and stuff like that. I love a game that comes with a good insert. And I'll show off the full insert a little bit later, but this comes with a good insert. And here is the small token tray. Now, for a game this complex, you'd expect there to be more tokens. I love right here, if you can see, might be a little dim, but it does say The Witcher Old World. And then it has the different Witcher sigils, which I really, really like. All right. We have miniatures. I'm just going to get them out of the box here, and then we're going to show them off one by one, and hopefully the camera will focus okay on them. So here we go. We have all these different Witcher characters. Here is one. Very nice. And they all have a spot in the insert as well. I'll push the insert up so you can see. There we go. Sitting on a rock. Very nice. And that one just slides in there. We have a Witcher jumping with either their silver sword or their steel sword, who knows? The sword's a little bent. You can see that there at the top, a little bent. But that's okay, that's to be expected. Here we go, just a regular walking Witcher, just like here. I love this quite a bit as well. Don't know who I'll play as, but I'm excited. And then there we go, this guy's, he's got both his swords, he's wielding one, and the other one is there on the back. We also have these. Now, this will just denote your player color. These are little colored discs, and the way they work is you just take out whatever character you're going to be, and you kind of stick the disc on the bottom like that, and then you'll know when you're on the board, hey, that's me. I'm the red guy. So there we go. That's that. There's also cubes. These cubes will be used on the player boards, which I'll show to you in just 1 second. And they just essentially mark a bunch of different things. And you'll see how those work in just a little bit. And then, of course, there are Witcher dice. Because why not? There we go. 1 set of dice there. And 1 set of dice right here. Now, these are not screen printed. These are etched dice, which I really like. I hate screen printed dice. So these will last quite a long time. All right, there is more in the box. Right here we have player boards. Now, these are still wrapped up in plastic. So let's make a lot of noise and open them up. All right, so these are dual layered boards, and so you're going to be able to tell here that depending on which color player you are, obviously they're all different, you'll be putting these little cubes in and then moving them up and down to signify different things. So that's really cool. So here we go. We have different cards here. There's 1, 2, and you can see the name in the bottom corner will pop out as well. And I think you can replace it with the other names that come in the token set. But there we go. This is the yellow player. Here we go for the green player. And the brown player, I think, right here. So very cool. Those are the boards. Now, I did want to, before we close off this video of this unboxing, I did want to show you the insert, because I think inserts for games are like super important. I've had these conversations with friends and family. A good insert is worth paying an extra $5 or $10 for, instead of just throwing stuff in bags. Now, we did get bags in the box, but we're not going to use them because of how good this insert actually is. So, once you're all said and done, you're just going to be able to put stuff away, and it all fits. It all fits really nicely. These just go like that. Everything's not back in this box, of course, but that box just lays on there. The top goes on like that. The board, the book, and everything else. Guys, that is everything in the Witcher One World Retail Standard Edition of the game. Now, if you get the deluxe edition of the just the standard game, you're going to get the miniatures in the box as opposed to the little cardboard monsters that I have on mine. But I have a feeling that it's going to work just fine with the little tokens. I think the miniatures just kind of give the game a little extra life if that's what you're looking for. But I'm looking forward to playing this one. We'll have full thoughts over on gamesreviews.com, so be sure to check that out. There's more board game content on the channel. I hope you'll check all those out. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll talk again real soon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.